What's up, music junkies? We're coming at you with a brand new episode where we have an exclusive interview with the rapper 8FATHER. Um, Great guy, great music, and he has some big things in the works. So stay tuned to listen to that interview in a few moments. First, we do want to get into. I know this is a music podcast, and we discuss music and um, current news in the music industry, but I feel like this is something that needs to be said because it is affecting the music industry. It's affecting the lives of innocent people. It's affecting everyone at the very moment. Um, Everyone is rioting. Everyone is protesting. Everyone is, standing up for the oppression or against the oppression, better said. And I want people to know, first of all, where I stand. Jake, might have some different beliefs, but I'm pretty sure they're very similar, and
We're all
about
for the same common goal here is what it boils
yeah.
down. You
So,
know,
I stand for fairness. Fairness of all, treat everyone, how you expect to be treated. Now, with that being said, there are lives that are being affected. There are lives that are being taken because one person thinks they're either above someone or, they just don't like that person's ethnicity, race. And that's where the movement comes into play. Black Lives Matter. There's a lot of misconceptions when you say Black Lives Matter. There's people that come at you and say all lives matter, and that's it's
well,
completely wrong.
so the Black Lives Matter is essentially an international activist movement that originates in the African American community, and they campaign against violence and systematic racism towards black people. And so obviously we are seeing a rise in all of this, and it's clear as day. You can pour through the
Yeah,
data anywhere you want. You'll find it.
it's
It's there.
obvious. Yeah.
Yes, it's happening everywhere, but it is more predominantly in this area. And you guys got to have respect for that. You have to have a level of understanding and be able to see it too.
Yeah.
Is what
So the movement does not mean no other lives matter. It does not mean that. Black Lives Matters mean that because they're targeting, excuse me, African Americans and people of color, that's why the movement came into effect.
and so what they seek to do is to bring justice, healing, and freedom back to people across the globe. Well,
Yes.
so it says so on their website. You can go look your damn self if you don't freaking believe me, but that's what it means. Don't get the lines blurred. Don't feel entitled to try to take that away from them. It's not yours. It's all of ours. Be
Yeah.
aware of it.
We're all human beings trying to survive. I'm Latino, and I stand with my black brothers and sisters. Jake is white, and he stands with them as well. We all stand for them. We all stand with them. And if you ever need any platform to, you know, talk about what you're feeling, we're here for you. We're here to discuss. If you guys want to interview, if you guys want to, anything, feel free to reach out to us. And this kind of brings us to what's currently happening right now is George Floyd got murdered, and he got murdered by a police officer that was, first of
Derek
all,
Chauvin.
yeah, first of all, he beat him up in the cop car. There's video footage where the cop was beating him up and the other cops were just standing there, and then he pretty much put his knee on his neck and wouldn't let him up for about 11 minutes, which ultimately ended his life. And that is what's going on right now. There were semi-peaceful protests at first, which turned into a lot of riots, looting. Um,
Now, here's where a lot of people are also getting confused, I think. They're taking this whole thing from Floyd and saying, "Oh, you're making it about Floyd." It's not about Floyd, just Floyd. It is about everyone that's been a victim to the abuse of power from officials like that,
yeah,
if that makes sense.
yeah. There's so many lives. There's so many lives, and this has been going on forever.
Uh-huh.
But there was a spike in the last maybe 5 years or so,
Mm-hmm.
where people have been losing their lives, and it's been getting to the point where it's just fucking insane. And the thing about now the new times is that we have cameras. Everyone has a camera on their person.
Yep.
So if they see something, they're gonna record it and they're gonna put it up. And that is why there's a higher spike. But this has always been going on. Blacks, Latinos, you know, Indians. There's always been profiling, racism, and that needs to
Native
stop.
Americans.
Native Americans. It just needs to stop, and that's why they're protesting. And yes, a lot of protests have turned into riots. But let's look at Minnesota. They started looting after the protest. They started looting, and there's footage of the first store that got looted, which was AutoZone. And
Wow.
I'm not sure if this is a complete fact, but this is what I read. So don't take my words to heart. And if you have better information, send it to me, and I'll read it. But from what I read, it was AutoZone was one of the first stores to get looted. And there's a video that I saw of a white male in a gas mask, all black, with the hoodie, breaking the windows to the AutoZone, which ultimately led to people breaking in and stealing. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and they found out that the guy that started breaking down these windows was linked to a white supremacist group.
What?
So which
Okay, so I thought the looting was more about the mental health of everyone, rights being infringed and everyone struggling with poverty. These people feel like the world is ending for them, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And so they're in a survival mode and it's
I
really
I I don't think it's survival mode. I don't think it's because they don't have money. I think it's just to show what is possible if you don't want to follow the rules. Because first of all, they're police officers aren't following the rules. If it wasn't for riots, we wouldn't have an 8 hour 5 day a week workday.
hmm.
If it wasn't for riots, we wouldn't have a lot of the things we have now. But people don't see it. People are
What do you
just
think would have happened if Harriet Tubman were to say fuck it and just obey all the laws that they were trying to put on them back in the day? Just saying, man, they've come a long way and we have so much further that we have to go. It is so fucking pathetic.
yeah. So let's get back into in the music part of it. So there are a lot of artists like J. Cole, like Chance the Rapper, that are speaking up. Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre spoke up. The king of Mister. I think the article said Mister Fuck the police. Um,
Oh, Killer Mike. Yeah,
oh,
so
Killer
yeah,
Mike's
he
speech
wanted
was
so
crazy.
in Atlanta, he was basically trying to talk to them and let them know, dude, don't burn down the fucking city, burn down systematic racism. Fuck that shit. Don't.
Yeah, yeah.
And so so him, Dr. Dre, J. Cole, Eminem, they're all advocating towards
J.
that.
Cole was actually in a protest in the middle of the protest in North Carolina. So it's affecting music and it's affecting
It's
everything.
obviously a very big deal, and it's just bringing to light a lot of the shit that's going on in modern
Yeah,
society.
and Justin Timberlake and a lot of other people have been pledging money to go towards
Well,
the people that
okay,
are getting arrested and stuff like that. So they're gonna pay for their bills and attorneys. And there's been like a bunch of artists that claim to do that. And Justin Timberlake was one that had a lot of backlash because he has a lot of white following. And I'm
yep.
not I'm not saying just whites are racist. I'm not by any means saying that. But it I mean, if we're actually statistically looking at it, there's a higher percentage of white people that are
I'll
racist.
admit, growing up, I've seen it everywhere. It's ingrained in a lot of folks,
Yeah,
especially in the South. It's
yeah.
But I also saw Billie Eilish. You know, she
Um,
slammed an All Lives Matter, white privilege.
yeah, she posted. It was like a
It was an essay.
five page story essay of
Just
like slamming the movement of all lives matter, and all lives matter isn't even a movement. It's just the saying that people say when they,
entitlement.
yeah, white
Drop the
privilege.
ego.
um but it's something that's going on. It's something that needs to be talked about. It's something that needs to be said. If you look at, a lot of the hip hop community, if you look at statistically, it's black dominant, so which leads us to people not making music because they're protesting, people not releasing new stuff, and
Yeah, and I guess on Tuesday, June 2nd, there was a bunch of music labels that are taking time away to reconnect with the communities, which is actually really fucking nice. Big ups to them.
yeah, yeah. So, as we're going through this, we just got to keep our head up, and people need to understand that we're all humans. Like I said before, we're trying to survive, and that's the main part of life. You're not above anyone. You're not better than anyone. We're all equal. So, yeah. And if you're racist, if you don't believe in the Black Lives Matter movement, I personally don't want to be your friend. I personally don't want anything to do with you. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Anyways, okay, so back to music and the new releases. There's not much because of everything going on, but Juice World does have a new song out with Trippie Redd called "Tell Me You Love Me."
You know, I never really liked Trippie Redd. I still won't really like Trippie Redd. The dude's, you know what? I can't judge him. I can't judge him, but he's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But in this song, it was cool. I'll give it a thumbs up. I liked it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. The beat was pretty good, and
Because I'm a picky little brat, I guess.
I was watching Lil Dicky, or Dave. The show's called Dave, but it's a Lil Dicky show, and Trippie Redd comes out. He's one of the many rappers that come out on it, and I mean he plays a cool character, but yeah, his music I've never been a fan. But everyone has their own taste. Yeah. So
I feel like he'd be friends with Takashi 6ix9ine.
I don't think anyone's friends with Takashi right now. His video for Gooba or whatever it's called got flagged by YouTube and got taken down for
What?
for copyright, a copyright infringement. I don't know what it was. I don't know I don't know, but I did read an article cover. It wasn't. I didn't read through the article, but yeah, it got banned and taken down. I don't know. And Travis Scott is featuring in a song with Rosalia called TKN, where Travis Scott actually raps in Spanish and sings a little bit in Spanish, and it's really good. It's a really good song. It's a little more reggaeton, but he does rap in it, and I would recommend it. It's a good song. Something else that I did see is Twista. And if you've never heard of Twista, my opinion, is the fastest rapper alive.
Motherfucker could be an auctioneer, but for rap.
He's the fastest rapper alive.
Oh.
And I think Busta Rhymes is a close second.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're up there. But yeah, Twista did the Eminem challenge, Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
He's literally rapping. His mouth is moving. His face has the most monotone, blankest expression ever. And the words are just coming.
He does it so like, confidently.
What the fuck?
Like, it's nothing to him.
Absolutely nothing.
Mind blowing, dude.
I'm like, how the fuck? Dude, I can't even say tongue twisters without fucking messing up.
What's the worst one you know? The hardest one?
Um, well, there's Irish wrist
Wristwatch. I
watch,
can't. Yeah, that
but you
one's
have to
bad.
say it fast. Irish wrist, Irish wrist,
Irish wristwatch.
wrist watch,
Wristwatch. Irish wristwatch.
Irish wristwatch,
Irish wristwatch. Okay.
like the singing warm ups. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather. Unique New York, unique New York.
I don't know, brown cow.
What?
That was an Anchorman reference.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was watching the other day the roast of Justin Bieber.
Ooh,
It's old. It's probably like maybe
I
four or
haven't seen
five
it.
years old.
Is it any good?
Oh, it was fucking hilarious. It was great. And Ron Burgundy makes a guest appearance at the end. Not
Ron.
not Will Ferrell. Ron
Okay,
Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy.
Yeah,
Okay,
he actually comes out in the Anchorman suit with a glass of whiskey, and he's talking, pretty much roasting Justin Bieber. It was pretty good. No, so coming up we have 8FATHER. He has a new song um, coming out fairly soon. We don't have a date yet, and he has a music video coming out. He's a great guy. Check him out, and then tell us what you think, your thoughts. Send us feedback. Follow him on Instagram, and he's on YouTube and Spotify. Um, so just stay tuned for the interview. All right, thank you for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it. With everything going on, um, before we get into the music, I kind of want to ask you what your thoughts are on the riots and the protest and everything that happened in the past week.
Right. Um, I've been keeping up with everything, and altogether, I really gathered some thoughts on exactly what I feel and how I think about it. Um, I understand that people are upset, and I understand that they want to get their point across, but I feel like right now that's not really the best way as far as the looting, specifically for the looting. I'm definitely not with that. I don't feel like, um, I feel like those things make everything else go into a bad light. You know, um, it's only gonna create more violence, at least in my eyes. So I
Yeah.
don't, I'm all for it. I want everybody to be able to walk down the street and not have to worry about anything. But at the same time, the looting, the violence, I feel like that's unnecessary. It's very unnecessary right now. There's so many other things, like actual important things we should be doing as far as like actually building, gaining ownerships of buildings, doing things that actually matter in the community that gives you some sort of power. Because at the end of the day, that's all it comes down to. It comes down to who has the power and who doesn't. So if we're focused on breaking things down, that's not going to give us the power, you
Yeah.
know, but building and actually doing things to change the community, build up things, and just doing things that actually will motivate others. I feel like that's what makes a huge difference, and that's what makes people important.
No. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
points. Definitely
Agreed.
agree with all those. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get started with the music side of it.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
for
you know,
sure.
I kind of want you to walk us through like, how you got started and how you got started into music.
Right. So the music, it has been a very long process. Originally, I started making music around summer 2017. It was a hobby at first. One of my closest friends, shout out to Robert, he got me into it because he used to have this mic. It was a little snowball
Oh
mic.
yeah, yeah.
Those are sweet, man.
Worked for the time, and we used to put a sock over it, and we just started freestyling over beats, and over time. over time you naturally start getting good if you practice, and I guess it takes a little bit of actually having it in you. So over time I just actually started taking it serious. Um, Around the time I was in high school, so early 2018, I'm finishing up high school, and I didn't really have the money to go to big studios and things like that. So I had to learn how to mix. I had to learn how to produce, and I just wanted to do everything on my own. So then I really could know how to do it. And it's a big difference from somebody that knows how their music should sound, how to make it, because when it's that way, you know, when you walk into a studio, you know that all right, engineer's not just gonna slap some presets on my vocals and expect me to just walk away with that. So
Yeah.
that's
Gotcha. So
exactly.
what would you say your inspirations are when it comes to like your mix and how you want it to sound? Like ultimately, like how would you
First,
describe it?
first, I never use autotune. If I cannot sing the tone, then I just don't sing the tone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, that's just me personally. I've always been that way. But overall, my mix it sounds pretty natural. That's the main thing for me. I want you to really hear how I feel at the time of recording the music. I feel
Raw.
like exactly that's what I want. I want all the emotions into it, and that's that's exactly how I want you to hear it when you're listening to it.
So who do you listen to? Who are your favorites?
Ooh, funny story. My very favorite artist right now, currently, has been the same person for like the last 3 years. His name is Jordan Hollywood. He actually lives in he lives in Davie. So he's an artist, manager. He's signed to Quality Control right now, so he's doing pretty well. Um, of course, I listen to the goats, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole. Drizzy is up in there somewhere. My absolute favorite OG is definitely Jay Z. Um, he's definitely up there. Kanye West too. He's pretty dope.
What Kanye West? Do you still listen to Kanye West? His new stuff, his old stuff, his. I'm a fan of Kanye back in the
Hmm.
college dropout days. Yeah.
I love those songs. I like Spaceship. Spaceship was
Yeah,
fire.
when you talk about
Oh,
Kanye, you could definitely talk about like all his innovations because he started, the electro rap movement,
right.
and well, in my opinion,
Yeah,
so
what's
yeah,
stronger?
I think Kanye is up there. I'm not a big fan of his new stuff though, but eh.
Yeah, his new stuff. I feel like Kanye and Drake are kind of in the same box. It's like you have the ability to make great music every time, and it's like they just choose not to.
Yeah,
Um, and that's where I feel like somebody like Kendrick Lamar differs. He's in his own box at that and something like that because every time you hear a Kendrick Lamar project, you know you're gonna get the best Kendrick Lamar possible, the best quality. Even if it's only like you only get one album every 2, 3 years, but you know it's gonna be the best work
yeah.
that he could possibly put out. So,
Are you into collaborations?
um, I actually am. I
Okay.
actually
So
am.
who's someone that you would like really love to collaborate with? You know, whether it be someone huge or
Um, ooh,
but
that's I feel
like to be on a song with.
I have a few.
Anyone.
I actually have a song with one of my he's I guess you could say he's my friend. We
Okay.
yeah, he's doing pretty well though. He's really out there in the music game.
Killing
His
the
name is
scene.
He's killing the scene. His name is Dirty Zan. We actually just finished up a song and it's fire. So but as far as like mainstream artists,
Hmm.
uh I feel like I feel like me and Kanye would sound good on a track, as weird as it seems.
That don't sound weird, man. I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah. So you did the collaboration with Julie, Babyface,
Yes.
which I love that song.
Yes.
It's a fucking good song. How was
Matter of
that?
fact, um it's a great story with how me and Julie met and how we came together for that song. But before I get into that story, the video drops tonight at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
and it's a movie. It's the production is great. It was a very costly set, but it's definitely worth every penny, and it's gonna be a. I feel like it's gonna make a great run, even though it's been out for about a month now. But it's one of those songs that I feel like is timeless. So it's
Yeah.
definitely gonna be up there. But as far as how we actually met on I found her Instagram. I saw her Instagram, I think through Explore page. And then I hit her up. I listened to she has some songs on her SoundCloud. And the quality wasn't so great, but I could tell that her voice was up there and her
Yeah.
voice was amazing. So um luckily she was actually in Miami at the time. She lives in New York, but she was in Miami at the time. So we were able to link up, and we actually the first few days we met, we talked about, uh, what she likes doing, what type of songs, what type of music she's into. And my producer, I have my personal producer, he sent her just a whole bunch of beats. And out of those beats, she sent back that demo with just her vocals on it. And then I was like, wow, that's really dope. So I went to the studio, I knocked out a verse for it, and then sent it back to her, and she knocked out her second verse, and then we just, it just came out to an amazing track. And of course, the
Nice.
yeah, and the beat was is produced by my favorite producer, also my like personal producer. His name is Kirk Zero. He's really fire. He produced most of my songs right now.
How did you link up with him? I saw that he was your personal producer pretty much, but how did you get linked up with him?
We linked up. Honestly, it's so mysterious. I have no idea. All I literally, it's the funniest story, but I have no idea. It literally happened like this. Um, I get an email, random email, and it just said, "I got your message, and I'd like to work with you." And I have no idea if I ever sent. Maybe I sent that message a couple months before, but I really don't remember
Still a mystery.
just sending a message. So yeah, I saw that, and then we got on FaceTime immediately after that, and then he told me exactly what he wanted to do and how he wanted to do things, and we just started really working around January. Everything started going around January.
That's dope. Yeah. So, what? I mean, what do you have in the works? I know you're dropping the new video out. What else are you working on right now?
I have um I have the Babyface video, which is dropping today. I have another song that I just worked on. I actually finished it about a week ago. It's called Luciana. The video is also done. I'm probably gonna drop that. I really want to let this whole thing blow over a little bit. This whole, the mess that's going on right now,
Yeah.
because I personally don't feel like it's the time to really be dropping um, music. So probably gonna drop sometime within the next 2 weeks.
Awesome.
But
And then you just released that album, Ape Father, right?
right, the 8FATHER, where I got the motivation from the cover, the motivation for the
Godfather.
cover, The Godfather, of course. And yeah, so that album actually, I put that album out and on April 2nd, which was my birthday, and immediately after putting it out, a label DM'd me immediately, and then so two we were able to get two of the songs. They liked two of the songs that they heard from the album, which was Birkin and a song called Motion. So they wanted to re-release those, and we talked, we looked at the contracts and everything. So we just got those two songs re-released, and we're just waiting to see um, how everything goes with that.
So are you signed officially, or are you just the songs?
I'm not officially signed. I don't think I'll ever sell my full catalog. That's just me personally. Unless it's the absolute perfect deal.
Yeah.
There's no way that I'll be able to do that. But yeah, I signed those two songs, and one of the songs, me and Kirk Zero, the producer, one of the songs we did together. So um, I had to talk to him about it. We all came to an agreement. We signed to those two songs.
Awesome. Yeah. So what's your creative process like? How do you write? Does Kirk
The
just send you
hardest
the beat?
part.
Yeah. Does Kirk just send you the beat and then you just start laying some raps on it, or?
Um, that it differs a lot, honestly. Sometimes he does send me beats, and I instantly can think of something for it. But sometimes that's not really the process. Sometimes, um, so like for example, like a song with the one I have with my boy Dirty Zan. Kirk Zero sent me that beat about 3 months ago, and just for me to come up with a verse, it literally took like a month and a
The
half
hardest.
because because I just wanted it to be absolutely perfect. At like absolutely perfect. One of the things I started to really do is I start to not curse a lot in a lot of my songs. I really don't want to be. Um, I just want to change the whole vibe that I'm giving out. So, uh, yeah, that process, it just took me a while to write that verse because I wanted that song to be absolutely perfect. But other than that, honestly, it can take me from anywhere between 30 minutes and like a year to write a song.
No. I feel that. I feel that. It's just sometimes you get that writer's block with a certain beat, and you just, yeah, it's so hard to get
Right,
out of it.
right.
And how did you, I really want to know, how did you come up with that name, Eight Father?
Mhm.
The name, yes, the question that everyone asks. Um, so with the name 8Father, I had this clothing brand I started when I was around 15. It's called Straight Godly, STR8 Godly, and pretty much with it went well. Everything went well with it. It's still alive and it's still going. But with the way that everything was for me, the way I saw it, and eight is also my favorite number, so I just started seeing it in the light in a way that I created the eight,
The
the straight
brand, yeah,
godly and
straight.
the eight. So, I guess eight fathers pretty much means, um, you know, the creation of that. You could put it that way.
Create. I like it.
Create the Eight Father. Create straight, godly, and Eight Father. That's what it
Straight
means.
godly, eight father. Eight is my favorite number.
So, do you exclusively just do music, or do you have another job, or are you just music and hustling your clothing brand and your music?
So right now it's all music, because the I'm lucky to be able to be in a position where I'm able to make pretty much make good off of it.
Hmm.
So just I'm just working with the team, Julie, Kirk, and I have another artist that I manage. He's a young artist. He's around 16. So on the daily, I mix, master. Um, if I'm not recording, then I'm either doing those, and also I'm really a tech geek, so I'm always on the laptop just working on things.
Doing
Geeking
stuff. Yeah,
out. That's cool.
Yeah,
yeah, that's pretty much what we do. It's-
All
yeah,
day long.
all
Way
day
too
long.
much.
Yeah, just on the
right,
computer making music, working on the podcast. And
right. You guys make music?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I play a little
I'd
bit of
love to hear
everything.
some. I'd love to hear some.
Yeah, we have a song out. I'll send it to you later on after this, and
Okay,
we're
bet.
working on a few things. Yeah, that was our first song because we're originally from a metal band. We were in a metal
Hmm.
band. I used to scream,
Right.
in a metal band. He was a guitarist, and then now I'm trying to get into rap a little more. I've
Okay.
always loved rap. I mean, Tupac is my all-time favorite rapper.
Right.
And then Jake is doing R&B singing. So we're trying to explore a whole different genre.
Okay.
So
Yeah, completely.
That's
It's
fun.
been fun. Yeah, it's been amazing. The only limitations you have are the ones you put on yourself, I find. So
yeah.
it's
Right. Right.
So can you freestyle? I'm not gonna put up a beat. I'm not
Put
gonna
him
have
on
you
the
freestyle.
spot.
We're not sway.
Freestyling is not. It's not. The crazy thing. I feel like if I absolutely had to save my life, I could, but it's not my thing.
Yeah.
It's because the main reason it's not my thing is because I just don't like putting out the very first thing that comes to my mind.
No, I'm sure you like to make it deep and meaningful, and you're like, man,
Yeah. The thing about it is when you just start writing, what the first thing that comes to mind in like 5 minutes, you think of something that gonna sound so much better on that beat. So yeah,
Exactly.
I'm not a freestyler. I can make parodies to songs on the spot,
Right.
but it's just
Right.
fucking
That's
around, joking around.
man, there's so many times
exactly.
I'll get 4 lines in and I'll just cross them all out because I'm like, I guess I just don't like them.
Exactly.
That's exactly me.
My
I do
lyric
that
book,
so often.
my lyric book is all crossed out. Look, all crossed out.
You guys write on paper though? I don't write on paper at all.
Paper notes. Sometimes on the computer. I'll
So
have like little
when I'm listening, when I'm writing, I sit down, I put my
Mhm.
headphones on, and I'm listening to the beat, and I'm just writing, and then I get to the
Right.
computer and I type it all up, so I have it
Mhm.
safe. But when because I can't just sit on a computer and start writing, I have to
Right.
sit somewhere where I could usually keep my mind not occupied, because if I'm in front of a computer, I'm wanting to do something else. So
Right. I mean, for me, that the Apple app is the Notes app is so underrated.
yeah.
Oh,
I
dude,
feel like
that
it's,
thing is
it
so
don't
sweet.
I do
it don't get the
if
credit.
I'm driving and I'm thinking of a lyric, I do my notes have like 3 lines each note, like, or a
Right.
line, 2
Wait,
lines.
what did you just say? When you're driving, bro, you shouldn't be doing that shit when you're driving.
You caught
I,
on to that.
I hope my insurance company does not watch this episode.
You caught on to that.
I know, fuck.
Dang.
Why are you putting me on the spot?
You put yourself on the spot, bro.
So,
No,
what else? Like, how do you promote yourself? I mean, I know you're managing yourself, and you're probably managing. You said you were managing a few other artists, right? So, how do you usually promote them yourself and get your name out there?
Yeah, so right now I'm managing myself. I don't know why I said
Me,
myself,
myself,
but
and
I'm
I.
managing myself, Julie, and another young artist called the weirdest name, but it's No Money. That's his name. So um as far as like promoting goes, I'm usually like I spend so many hours just contacting YouTube channels, contacting obviously Instagram promoters. So that's definitely how I started to do things in the last couple months, because I got once you start building and they see that, they're more willing to support you. So um I've gathered my list of YouTube contacts, Instagram contacts, and obviously since I've been doing this for about 3 years now, I have some supporters that shares everything, so they do part of the work too. So
Yeah, and you
that
you have 35,000 listeners on Spotify, monthly
Yeah.
listeners on Spotify, and then one of your
So,
songs
right.
has 2.5 million streams. So you're doing a great
So
job.
yeah, the eight motel,
The Eight
so the
Motel
other
is where it's. I swear,
yup.
I had that stuck in my head all day yesterday.
it is catchy. So the other artist on that actually is the other artist I manage, the young artist.
Okay.
Yeah, so that whole song I wrote, I just wanted him on the hook because I thought his voice sounded better on the hook. But yeah, pretty much with on Spotify, I just try to lead every most of the fans that I can to that platform, because that's the platform that it sticks most, I guess, in a
Yeah.
way. Just I feel like it just has more of the attraction value.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it does. But most of like as of right now though, I'm not really doing too much promoting. Most of my plays are literally coming from algorithm. Like
Ah,
50% of my 50% of my current listeners is directly from the algorithm. So,
so do
at
you have a
some
way
point
of
it just started to build itself.
so do you have a way of actually quantifying where most of your listeners are located?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where would you
For
say?
sure. Um Surprisingly, Chicago.
Really?
Chicago,
That is
yes.
sick, man.
Chicago, surprisingly. Um I could look at the
This,
top 5,
yeah.
but yeah,
Do you have like other countries that you're big in?
I actually do. I actually do. Um I think Frankfurt is up there.
Germany?
Sweet. Yeah.
Frankfurt, I think London is also up there.
Mm,
But yeah, as of right now that's where it's at, but I know the top for sure is Chicago.
that's pretty badass. So, you know, the Eight Motels is your most streamed song, and that seems to be like everyone's favorite. What's your current favorite song that you've ever made?
Um my current favorite song, it's so hard. It's so hard because I've made I have like 50 songs on Spotify right now. Over the last 3 years. But if I had to pick a song to like save my life in a way, it would be dang. It would be OMG probably. OMG.
OMG.
I have a song up there called
Yeah,
OMG. I'll
yeah. I
put
just
that one.
I just heard that one. Uh,
Yeah, OMG. I feel like that's the you know, just the EP, the full there, it's in an EP. So the time when I was putting that EP together and I was writing that EP, it was such an important time in my life. So
yeah.
I feel like it just has more meaning.
I think my favorite from your songs is More Than Me.
Yes,
I,
that's in the
I
EP too.
I thought that song was extremely. It was super strong lyrically, and
Yes,
I really liked. If you haven't heard it, listen to that song. Yeah.
that 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 song. The other guy that's on that is actually the guy I was talking about earlier. His name is Robert Gamo. His artist name is Gamo. He like he's the reason I'm pretty much making music right now. So I'll always be thankful to him for that.
That's awesome. So, uh, I think that's pretty much all I have. I know you know. I'm pretty sure you want to tell your listeners and your fans something. So, this is the time.
I would say thank you for I've been building throughout the virus, and that is such a different road than I'm seeing than I'm seeing for a lot of different artists. And I'm very thankful for that. There's not much I could say to to show my appreciation for that. I'm just very thankful, and I'm glad that people are actually listening, and people are seeing the meaning behind a lot of it. So I'm very thankful for all of that.
Awesome, man. Well, really appreciate you coming on the show. And if you haven't heard Eight Father already, you should check him out. Music's amazing, and he's coming out with the new video and a new
Nice.
song soon after shit calms down.
Yeah, and yeah, Julian 8FATHER drops Babyface tonight. The video comes out 8 p.m. Apple Music, Vivo, and Tidal. So all of that stuff, I'm just very thankful. Thank you to you guys for having me. Um, I hope you guys the best, and I appreciate that you guys are doing things like this. It means a lot.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
That was amazing, dude. He's cool as hell. He's got some really amazing music. Dude has big things happening for him.
Yeah, definitely. And if you haven't heard him, I'm gonna keep pushing this. Listen to him. Listen to his music. New music video out today, which is Sunday. This episode will be released on Monday, so the video will already be out.
Yesterday.
New music video came out yesterday. There you go.
There we go.
Check it out. It's called Babyface, and it's featuring Julia. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it without looking at my notes.
Ooh.
Julia Alexandria Walsh. Am I right? Julie Alexander.
You're close.
I was close.
Big ups. I got a good brain.
What you trying to say, bro?
Never go full retard.
Anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. You know, we are going through a lot of shit right now with the pandemic, riots, protests, lives being lost. So, you know, keep your head up, listen to music, you know, do whatever you can to stay sane. And if you ever need anything, feel free to reach out to us because we're here to listen.
We want you all to be safe.
Yep.
Hope you guys know that.
Follow us on all social media platforms. And I hope you guys have a good one.
Until next time, music junkies.